It's time to comb through the league and create our very own hottest 12 calendar. Yes, we realize that there are only 11 players in a team, but you're forgetting the coach, who we'll name as Mr. December and perhaps dress him as Babbo Natale. But before we start, we'll go through the Lega B top 11 as chosen by fans on Twitter. Up front is Massimo Coda, the centravanti, the main striker, 20 goals this term. On the left flank is Alessio Zerbin of Frosinone. Decent season, first ever season in Serie B, in fact, with 9 goals. Gianluca Gaetano from Cremonese behind the striker in that number 10 role. Gabriel Strefezza on the right side of attack. The two pivots, Niccolò Fagioli of Cremonese and Morten Hjuland of Lecce. And at the back, we have Pietro Beruato and Samuele Birindelli, the left and right backs, both from Pisa. In the middle is Caleb Okoli, who played last season with Cremonese, and Federico Gatti of Frosinone, owned by Juventus. And we should probably see him with the Bianconeri this season in Serie A. In goal was Marco Carnesecchi. He played the season with Cremonese, so plenty of representation from Lecce and Cremonese. Both of those sides went up into Serie A. Surprisingly, there's no representation from Monza, the third side to gain promotion. But are the fans right? Well, usually they are. However, Lega Football wants to know who is the best of the 2021-22 Serie B season. And we've just released an article on our Substack, which we'll link into this pod. And this article is dedicated to choosing the best portiere in the Italian second division. We're going to start with goalkeepers. So the criteria, well, each player must have played the whole season in Serie B and at least 25 games, which is roughly 2/3 of the 38 regular season games. So that narrows us down to 16 possible contenders to guard the goal. However, we will rule out a few names, and the following will be ruled out based on personal and or club performances. Samuele Perizan of Pordenone, Matteo Pisseri at Alessandria, Marco Festa, who played with Crotone, Matteo Grandi of Vicenza, Nicola Leali of Ascoli, and Anthony Iannarilli of Ternana. Those 6 goalkeepers simply conceded too many goals, or their clubs had a shocker at the back this season. And like anyone else, Lega Football loves a bit of real-world data to guide us to a conclusion. This statistical analysis is only possible thanks to the fbref.com website. They also use StatsBomb. So let's deduce our way to glory. From the remaining 10 contenders, the first thing we will do is eliminate the goalkeeper that conceded the most goals against per 90 minutes, and that was Federico Ravaglia of Frosinone. He conceded 30 goals over 27 games for an average of 1.11 per game conceded. So the GA90, the acronym for goals against per 90 minutes. So with 9 goalkeepers left, Gabriel of Lecce, well, he only conceded 24 goals in this campaign. His shot-stopping percentage is the lowest of the bunch at 67.2% and therefore must be culled. Gabriel was the lowest of the remaining 9 goalkeepers in that regard. And apologies to Gigi Buffon fans, and yes, I am one of them. The World Cup winner only featured in 25 games throughout 2021-22, whereas the other contenders were tested in at least 32 Serie B fixtures. There will be some fans out there scowling at that decision. We will have Gigi close to our hearts, but the level of difficulty to perform at high levels increases with every match. Gigi got through 26 games for Parma. He was out with injury for a while, and Martin Turk came in to guard that goal. So with 7 goalkeepers remaining, there's clearly a big difference between the best 4 performing shot stoppers and the rest. There's various reasons why goalkeepers have certain statistics. There are better defenses in front of the goalkeeper, and in some cases, the goalkeeper just has a blinder of a season and helps his team. And I think when we get to our conclusion, you will see that the goalkeeper that Lega Football has chosen has done just that by dragging his team. Well done to Elhan Castrati and Jesse Joronen for their tremendous campaigns. However, the pair only received 115 shots on target against the SOTA statistic, and they must be omitted And in that range, we're dealing with numbers that go all the way up to 154 saves, with Anthony Iannarilli of Ternana being that goalkeeper. He led the way in shots on target against for this season, but conceding way too many goals, the Ternana goalkeeper. So he's not included in this list. Some people think that he was one of the top goalkeepers, and there are certain sites and journalists out there that believe Iannarilli should feature in this list. But unfortunately, his save percentage just wasn't good enough. And some of these other sides conceded, we're talking anywhere from 30 goals up to 40 goals, whereas Ternana conceded in the mid-50s. So the fans that voted for the Serie B goalkeeper of the season mainly voted for on Twitter, well, they wanted Marco Carnesecchi of Cremonese as the goalkeeper. It's understandable why, considering the amazing season that the Italy under-21 international played. He guided Cremonese up into Serie A, but the data speaks for itself. Of the top 5 goalkeepers, Carnesecchi conceded the most goals, 38 in total, and achieved the lowest percentage of clean sheets, 25%, and the number of saves made, 72%. Contrary to what the fans picked, Carnesecchi ranks as the 5th best goalkeeper in Serie B at best. Depending on what variables you want to use and what statistics, Carnesecchi could even go down to 6th or 7th. But a fantastic season regardless. The top 4 goalkeepers, it's down to Di Gregorio, Pagliari, Ciccizola and Nicolas. That's the Monza, Benevento, Perugia and Pisa keepers, all featured in at least 35 games during the regular season and all took part in the Serie B playoffs. Statistically speaking, this is the best of the best. Now let's dissect their differences. We'll start with Michele Di Gregorio of Monza. His experience at 24 years of age, Di Gregorio has played in Serie B 105 times and Serie C 67 times since 2017. He's born in Milan, he's owned by Inter, and he was on loan at Monza. So Di Gregorio assisted Monza to its playoff victory over Pisa and subsequent debut Serie A promotion. So that's a bonus point, and I want to stress that. In addition, Di Gregorio has 19 wins to his name, more than any other, and we can add clean sheets, 15 of those, and clean sheet percentage, 40.5%, to this extraordinary list. There are some issues, though. Of the top 4 goalkeepers, Di Gregorio conceded the most goals at 37, and with that comes the worst goals against per 90 minutes title. Di Gregorio also conceded 6 goals over the 4 playoff games at a rate of 1.5 per game. Now, we're not using the playoffs to particularly define who is the best keeper, but perhaps that's a negative. And of the top 4 goalkeepers, his GA90 is at 1 exactly. So this is an extra half a goal per game conceded in the playoffs. Moving on to Nicolas Andrade of Pisa, very experienced goalkeeper. At 34 years of age, Nicolas has played in Serie B 181 times and Serie A on 39 occasions since 2012 and has finished as a Serie B runner-up on 2 occasions. He was marginally edged out for best clean sheet percentage, 40%, by Di Gregorio, who just edged him by 0.5%. The Brazilian restores parity, though, by nudging in front of the Monza goalie with his better save percentage, 78.6%, and GA90 of 0.92. Nicolas shares the record for lowest goals conceded in the league, so that's a huge tick here, a green tick. Pisa conceded only 35 times in 2021-22, and the Nerazzurri's phenomenal back 4, they did much of the work in this situation, and this is indicated by Nicolas's SOTA, the shots on target against, and the saves made, 101 saves in total. So 101 saves throughout the season sounds high, but we're dealing with Andrade having the lowest of the top 4. Di Gregorio made 103. Pagliari, who is the Benevento goalkeeper, made 120. Ciccizola made 124. Issues for Nicolas to his detriment. He also conceded 6 goals in the playoffs in just 4 games. He was victorious less often than Di Gregorio, made fewer saves and therefore received fewer shots on target. That's understandable considering he'd played 2 less regular season matches. So with the two playoff finalists at level pegging, it's Di Gregorio for me over Nicolas, thanks to the bonus point of Serie A promotion for the Monza goalkeeper. Moving on to Alberto Pagliari of Benevento. At 29 years of age, Pagliari has played in Serie B 131 times and Serie A on 3 occasions since 2016. He's owned by Genoa following a €2 million transfer from Cittadella in 2021. So while Benevento's attack was the best in the league, their defensive performances were erratic. They finished 7th during the regular season. Pagliari endured the most shots on target, 149 of those, and made an incredible 120 saves at 80.5%, in second place of this top 4 in just 35 matches though. So that's 23 more shots on target against than Nicolas over the same amount of games. In his 3 playoff appearances, Pagliari only conceded once for a remarkable GA90 of 0.33 per game. There are some issues, not too many though. Pagliari could only manage 12 clean sheets at a clean sheet percentage of 33.3. That's the lowest of the top 4 goalkeepers, and it didn't block any of the 5 penalties awarded to adversaries throughout the season. But 3 big green ticks. He's above Di Gregorio in terms of saves and also Nicolas, and that comes with the territory of having more shots come in at 149 against Di Gregorio's 134 and 126. And now we'll move on to the Perugia goalkeeper, Leandro Cicizzola. At 32 years of age, Cicizzola has played in Serie B 170 times. He's played in La Liga and Argentina's Primera Division since 2010. Having played in the UEFA Europa League of 2019-20, Cicizzola arrived at Perugia for free from FC Cartagena of the Spanish Segunda Division in 2021. The Argentine was the only Serie B goalkeeper to have played every minute of the regular season, with a league-high 124 saves made, accompanied by a league-high save percentage of 82.3%. And of the top 4 keepers, Cicizzola saved more penalties at 33% and led the way with a GA90 of 0.84, while sharing the best record of goals conceded at 32 goals, alongside Nicolas, however, having played 3 more matches than Nicolas overall. So that's outstanding. There is one issue though. Cicizzola has the 3rd best clean sheet percentage of the top 4 goalkeepers. That's at 36.8. That's below Nicolas at 40 and Di Gregorio at 40.5. However, there are 3 big green ticks where Cicizzola leads, and then he's come second on 4 occasions. The bonus point also was that Perugia was freshly promoted from Serie C, and Cicizzola led the club to an 8th place finish to qualify for the playoffs while conceding just 32 goals. That's 5 less than Di Gregorio, 2 less than Pagliari, with Monza and Benevento goalkeepers having played fewer games. Adding to that, Perugia scraped into the playoffs in 8th spot on 58 points with a head-to-head advantage over Frosinone. That's largely thanks to Cizizzola's cool head during their 2 regular season fixtures. The first ended 0-0 away at the Benito Stirpe, just weeks after promotion from the 3rd division. Perugia then won the return match 3-0 at the Renato Curi with a 3-man backline of Angela Dell'Orco and Sgarbi, who, well, exactly, he had a no-frills backline in front of him. And this is also a massive reminder to those debating why a coach like Massimiliano Alvini was brought in by Cremonese. He was their Perugia coach. The miracle of Serie B, well, one of them was the fact that Perugia made the top 8, especially in front of a side like Frosinone or Parma. Cicizzola enjoyed a brilliant campaign in Italy, and like I said earlier, the data speaks for itself. So the best Serie B goalkeepers for 2021-22, we've named the top 10 on the Substack article, but Leandro Cicizzola of Perugia has just edged out Alberto Pagliari, Michele Di Gregorio, and Nicolas Andrade. Marco Carnesecchi, well, he's coming at 5th. We understand why the fans voted for Carnesecchi. Brilliant season, some fantastic saves, but we're going for consistency and we're using the statistics supplied to us by those that collect them. Leandro Cicizzola is the Lega Football Serie B goalkeeper for 2021-22. Serie B has immense quality across the league though. Plenty of goalkeepers that could do a job here. And moving forward, we will examine the best defenders, midfielders, attackers and coaches of Serie B in upcoming episodes and articles. So stick with us for that on Lega Football.